Hello guys, this is trade of the day. I'll be going over today's trade that I made on Thursday, February 23rd, 2017. As a reminder, this video is for learning purposes only. Alright, so I do want to go over some awesome trades that I made, but I want to go over a trade that I actually made yesterday, that I covered in yesterday. Didn't get a chance to make a video. I was hanging out with family, awesome weather in Chicago. I had to take advantage of it. But this is such a really good trade that I thought it was really important to kind of go over. So GBT, overextended, multiple days in a row, overbought on the stochastics, and there was huge resistance level at 28 on the daily. You guys can see right here. So that's where I wanted to short. Of course, on a trend reversal. Now, on that day, um, which was a Tuesday actually, GBT actually gapped up, went over previous day high, so that kind of shows some strength, but it reversed and it went below previous day high. So that was a good indicator, it's telling me, you know what, this action might be ready to pull back, to reverse this trend. So that's when I started. I did open a position around lower days, around 27.35, looking for a green and red move and break of trend, maybe at the end of the day. So now, funny thing though, that did not happen. As soon as I shorted, there was some support around the area, and it kind of just started to trend up, but it kept hitting the wall of 28. You know, a lot of resistance here. So a lot of short sellers kind of gather around this area. You know, so it was very interesting because it felt like, almost felt like market makers were pulling the price to that area for short sellers to kind of get in and keep shorting it. The reason why I thought that was because the biotech industry, the whole index, was trending down. And GBT is part of the IBB Biotechnology Index Fund. So I find it very, very odd that that was happening, knowing that the whole index, all these stocks in the biotech industry were just trending down. So that's the reason why I kept my position. I did have my stop at the high day, so I kept it, and I was hoping hopefully for an a day flush and a day sell pullback, but it did not happen. So I kind of, main reason why I kind of kept this trade was because it kind of, to me, on the daily, it looked also like a evening start type of pattern. Evening type of start pattern is a, of course, in the overextended type of stock, there's a gap up, kind of like an exhaustion gap, but then there's kind of like a doji. Price just kind of holds around that area, and it did kind of held around 28. So that's the reason why I kind of held, because in the evening star pattern, there's a gap down and then a reversal the next day. And that's what I was hoping for. And it's actually exactly what happened, and you guys can see that. But it happened in a very interesting way, because as soon as the market closed, watch this. Boom. Huge sell-offs right at the market close. And the reason why was because there was a secondary offering. So GBT announced a secondary offering to raise $75 million by selling shares, new shares. So when there's new shares, a secondary offering, that dilutes investor shares, for initial buyers. So that reduces the price. So that was, of course, bad news for the stock price, because it was trading at 28, and I believe the secondary offering is around 24.50. So huge sell-off. So I was happy when I saw that right away. I was happy because I was like, you know what, I did the right move. I held my shares, and now I'm just gonna bank, I guess. So I decided though to see how price was gonna react in the morning, because I seen gap downs where some short sellers start covering in the morning, and that's what I saw. I woke up around 7 a.m. and I already started seeing some short sellers covering, and it did hit one of my target price. So I did close 75% of my position pre-market, and my next target was around 24. Honestly, I was actually hoping for price to kind of would open up around 26 and literally just start trending, maybe a huge sell-off to 24. That was what I was looking for. And I guess looking back into it, I should have just closed all my position and pre-market, because even though it did hit 24, it took a while, because a lot of this stock was heavily shorted. There was like a 40% short interest on it. So knowing that, there was going to be a lot of short sellers covering. And they did. A lot of them actually woke up a little later than me and they started covering at higher prices, like 24.50s, 24.90s, and even 25. So I did the right thing by waking up. When it comes to covering, you always want to be the first to cover, because as soon as other traders start covering, the price just keeps going up, keeps going up, keeps going up. And they did that as well when the market opened. And I actually wanted to wait. I was hoping for this kind of bear flag to kind of break down mid-morning, but it didn't. It just kept trending, kept trending, kept trending. So I just ended up closing my position at about 26, because sometimes these things, because there's so many, I guess, short sellers covering and maybe even momentum buyers, that this thing could reverse and continue trend back to 28. So I was like, you know what, I just want to take my money. But then it actually broke down and it hit my target. So, but this is kind of harder to predict. So the best place to cover was pre-market. So that's something that I want to emphasize. When there's a huge gap down at your target level on a short, best place to cover, best time to cover is pre-market, before everyone else, before all other short sellers start covering. Because as soon as the short sellers start covering, price is just gonna, I guess, start trending, and it's kind of hard to predict this second move. So that's what I wanted to kind of emphasize. And just see a look at the chart, there was everybody sold off. For everybody, I guess, who bought here in this upper trend, sold off this day, because it was around 8.2 million shares traded that day. So it looks like everybody just sold off and took their money, and it was like, we're done with this trade. All right, so that's what I wanted to cover. Next trade that I want to go over is LPX. I did trade this one today. Now this is a a overextended stock as well. If you guys notice pattern, I like to short sell overextended stocks. Again, have the best reward to risk and highest probability of success. It's just simple, man. So overextended stochastics. Now it started to kind of. I didn't short the first day, but I did short the second day, because I started to see some momentum reversal, and that's why I wanted to kind of get in on this one. So on the first day, it was hard to kind of see the momentum shift. But on the second day, second red day, once you see the first red day, that kind of shows you, what momentum is starting to shift. Second day, let's just short on the, I guess you could say, resistance areas and cover on the support areas. So on this day, I actually saw the 2460s around there with some sort of resistance area. You can see this right here. Every time it hit that area, 2460s, there was some sort of resistance. Because there was a top right here, top right here, top right here. So that was the best place to kind of short. Now, one thing that I started to notice is when it comes down to shorting and the correct resistance, the best thing to do is actually just submit a stop limit order, because if it hits that area, you might even miss your opportunity to kind of get in. So it is best just to have a order already submitted in the market to short at that area, so you don't have to worry about missing it or chasing or nothing like that. So that's something I do want to cover today about, because that actually helped me get the best reward or risk. Because sometimes when I do see my levels hit and I'm not in, if I don't have a stop limit order already submitted, sometimes I end up chasing. And when you end up chasing, that's when you lose money. You lose the optimal reward to risk. So very, very important, I wanted to cover: submit stop limit orders already in the market. So when the market opens and it happens to hit the area, hey, you already got your best reward to risk. And I actually had my stop at previous day high. So I did actually risk around 20 cents, and the goal was to make 40 cents to or more. Now, I did actually close at 2 to 1, which is very happy about. But it actually ended up going up to like 3 to 1, even I think even more actually, because I shorted around 24.60 versus 20 cents. So my 1 to 1 was 24.40, 2 to 1 was 24.20, and 3 to 1 was 24. So I actually did. There was 3 to 1 opportunity, but I did cover 2 to 1 because it was overextended. Now the other beautiful thing about this trade today, that I think the reason why it actually downtrended was because the Russell 2000 downtrended like crazy all day today. So and LPX happened to be one of the stocks in the IWM index. So it was a perfect trade. You know, I couldn't have shortened it a better day. So I got my 2 to 1, closed my position, and called it a day. So these are some really good trades that I wanted to cover, and good things that I wanted to kind of emphasize, which especially submitting stop limit orders. So you always get the right price. You know, have a plan, have the right price to get the best reward to risk on your trade. So if you guys like this video, please make sure you like the video. Make any comments if you have questions or concerns. If you want to keep learning, keep watching my videos, hey, subscribe to my channel. You guys will hear from me soon. Thank you very much.